We're taught to trust what we can verify, to believe what we can see, to move once something confirms we're right. That works for short cycles. It fails for long ones. When progress takes time, the demand for evidence becomes a liability. We start asking for proof before the system has had time to respond, before cause and effect can meet, before anything visible is supposed to happen. The urge for early proof feels responsible, but most of the time, it's just discomfort asking for reassurance. Every meaningful process has a delay built into it. The input changes first. The signal comes later. Skills improve before performance shows it. Strength builds before it's visible. Understanding deepens before it sounds articulate. But we're bad at respecting lag. We assume that if nothing is happening yet, nothing is happening at all. That assumption collapses most processes prematurely. The absence of feedback doesn't mean the absence of effect. It means the system hasn't surfaced the signal yet. Trust is required specifically in the gap. Trusting a process is not the same as believing in an outcome. Outcome faith says, this will work. Process trust says, this is the correct behavior regardless of outcome. That distinction matters. When you attach trust to the result, you constantly renegotiate your commitment. When you attach trust to the process, you don't need reassurance from progress. The process either makes sense or it doesn't, and that decision is made once, not daily. Outcome faith needs proof to survive. Process trust does not. Before results appear, progress looks indirect. Less resistance, shorter hesitation, cleaner execution, reduced recovery time. These signals are quiet. They don't announce themselves. That's why they're easy to dismiss. We overlook them because they don't satisfy the story we expect progress to tell. But these early shifts are not placeholders. They're the foundation. Results are not the first sign of success. They're the last. If you wait for visible outcomes to validate the process, you're asking the system to break its own rules. The most difficult phase of any process is the phase where nothing confirms you. No feedback, no reinforcement, no external signal that says, keep going. This is where most people leave, not because the process failed, but because uncertainty became uncomfortable. Staying doesn't require optimism. It requires restraint. Restraint from checking, restraint from adjusting, restraint from abandoning something that hasn't had time to respond. Trust doesn't feel confident here. It feels quiet, unresponsive, often lonely. That's normal. Proof is not a guide. It's a report. It tells you what has already happened, not what to do next. When you wait for proof to begin trusting a process, you're asking the effect to arrive before the cause. That's backwards. Trust must operate earlier than proof, earlier than confidence, earlier than clarity. Once the process has been chosen deliberately, your role is not to evaluate it daily. Your role is to let it run. Proof will arrive. It always does. but it comes last.